And welcome to our next session with Dave Weiner from Priority Bicycles. Dave, how are you doing?
I'm great, Brian. Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. First of all, let's start off. We're just going to go right into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Dave, how you got into being the CEO of Priority Bicycles and the founder, and we'll start there.
Sure. So Priority Bicycles is 9 years old. We started back in 2014, mid 2014, with the idea of maintenance-free bicycles. So I grew up in the bike industry and then worked in software for a number of years. And when I left software, I had this period when I was in software where I wasn't working with bikes and I missed it. And I wanted to get back into bicycles. Yet I felt that the bicycle industry was really going up market so fast. It's all about carbon fiber and dual suspension and going as fast as we could. And so I started to think, with my time away from bicycles, how could we make better bicycles? And really for the people that I was riding with, that was just looking to ride on the weekends and have fun on their bike. And so we came up with this idea of maintenance-free bicycles, or low-maintenance bicycles, and how to make the most reliable bike that you could ever buy. And living in New York and commuting to work a lot, I really wanted to look at the segments of commuting and of recreational cycling. And so really that's where we've been. All of our bicycles are designed to be the most low-maintenance in category. We sell consumer direct online, either at our website, and we have a co-branded website with Costco. So those are the only two places to buy our bikes. And all of our bicycles are again, meant to be low maintenance.
So if I were to ask you, all of the consumers and your customers are buying online. There's no sort of physical store right now that they see the bicycle before they buy.
We do have a handful of stores in the country, but not
okay.
many. Yeah.
Okay.
And the vast majority of our business is online.
Okay.
And we like having the one-on-one relationship with our customer. That's really important for us.
And where does that? Well, actually, I'll take that question in maybe a couple minutes here. But let me first start with what was kind of like an interesting point for me that I wanted to make and get your thoughts on. But if you go to prioritybicycles.com and you go to their contact us page, and I have it up next to me right now. So 100% customer satisfaction, 365 days a year that you can contact them. They have an in-house support team. I see you can attach a file, include a note. They bring up their contact information with calling, WhatsApp. I see you can schedule time with them, virtual showroom. The list goes on and on. So I guess what the point I'm trying to make here is that from this page, it sounds like customer support is extremely important to your business. Maybe my question is walk me through that. Has it been like this since day one of the business, or has it evolved?
Yeah, it has most certainly been there since day one. 9 years ago when we started, buying bicycle online was still not really common, and it's getting more popular. But bicycles were one of the last things to really go to online, and certainly a lot of people are still buying a bicycle in store. And I grew up working in bike shops, and I know how to give customer service the way we gave it in a bike shop in the 80s and 90s. So, to me, if we were going to bring our bikes to market and bring them at the price we wanted to, online was really important. Yet, how do we give that customer experience that you get in a store to a customer? Well, the first thing it starts with is being available 365 days a year. We're on from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. We're on from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. 365 days a year. We are not yet 24/7, but I would actually like us to be. To me, I feel that we win customers by responding to their questions really quickly and with really knowledgeable sales team that can help support any questions that customers can have. And then when a customer gets a bike, they often have questions. And again, we win the customer by responding quickly with a knowledgeable response. And so it's always been there since the beginning that we will do customer service that much. 9 years ago, I was doing a lot of nights and weekends. Unfortunately, not anymore. But having really knowledgeable staff that can get back to our customers very quickly on whatever mode of communication they want is very important to us.
How do you or your team um, kind of, I would say, like train, or like how do they understand how to answer the questions? Is there any sort of, again, training that happens beforehand before they start taking questions from the customers?
We've never hired somebody to date that hasn't worked in a bike shop or have really
Huh.
on the ground bicycle experience. So it is important to us that our support team members all really know a whole lot about bikes. And for really most of them, almost everybody rides a bike every day and has bicycles as part of their life and has worked with bicycles in some way, shape, or form. Not that we won't hire someone that hasn't, but they need to have a lot of tribal knowledge on cycling and know the ins and outs of riding a bike every day, because that's what we expect them to help our customers with.
Yeah. Has the channels shifted at all? And let me kind of clarify that. Again, if you've been around for 9 years, have you seen any increases or decreases from people contacting you versus phone rather than chat, or email versus WhatsApp? Anything that kind of
WhatsApp is the wild card that has really grown a lot for us. Is we receive a lot more communication via WhatsApp than I would ever expect. And I say that when we started with SMS, that was more popular than I thought it would be. But then putting on WhatsApp, I thought would be a percentage of our SMS, and it's actually more. And I think one of the reasons for that is a lot of times customers want us to see something on their bike or hear something on their bike. And if you want to take a 20-second video on your phone, or maybe even a 3-minute video on your phone, and you need to send it to a support person, how do you do that? And I know for me, I have to take the video, transfer it to my phone, upload it, right? Send them a Dropbox link, whatever it is. So people really like WhatsApp because they can send us big videos. And so we get a lot of that, and people love it. And even, often in a lot of our shortcuts, like, hey, can you send me a video of that? The best way to do that is via WhatsApp. People just get that. And so we get a lot of communication on WhatsApp, especially for things technical, but we also get a lot of international customers on WhatsApp. Americans still like to email a lot, but a lot of our international customers like to use WhatsApp as just a more fluid form of communication.
So you ship internationally then?
We do, yeah. Not a ton, but certainly products every day.
And has it always been like that since you started the company, or has that grown, that international kind of
Yeah, it's always
presence?
been there. Our bikes are unique in what we offer, and so you can't necessarily find a similar model anywhere else. And so when we started, we really wanted to focus on the North American market because we thought that was where we were going to grow, and certainly we do. But customers kept asking to buy our bikes internationally, and so eventually we realized that if we didn't ship them, that at least we couldn't answer the question. So while it is expensive to ship our bikes internationally, we sell bikes every day.
Okay. So is there anything else I'm missing in kind of the formula of like customer experience for Priority Bicycles? So what I think the audience and I have heard so far is that you respond rather quickly. It's really important to get to them. It seems like it's across all different channels, whatever the consumer prefers. And it's also being really knowledgeable to answer pretty much any question that kind of comes to your team. Am I missing anything else, or are those the three variables that you kind of focus on?
I would also add on top of that we make a customer happy no matter what it takes.
Okay.
So we believe being an online store, we're only as good as our last review. And our last review's happening today, right? So we do go above and beyond to make our customers super happy. That's responding quickly with a knowledgeable answer, and then ultimately making them happy, even if sometimes that hurts.
And is that review, I guess let me kind of step back. I feel like there's some CEOs that are like, we got to get more reviews, and they kind of like craft their business, and like it's like, okay, here's how we're going to get more reviews. It sounds like for you, it's just like it's kind of the after effect of everything that you do. It's not like we have to get more reviews, but that's just kind of what comes of it. It's a byproduct of basically the customer experience.
Yeah, we don't ever ask for reviews. When you buy a product in X weeks, you get an email that says, we'd appreciate it if you send a review, but that's it. We never ask for anything beyond that. That said, if you give a customer a most customers, they don't sit at their phone computer saying, I love this product, I'm going to write a review. No. What happens is they dislike your product for some reason or another, and then the first place they go is to be the loud person on it, right? So we just want to prevent that. So we're not asking for reviews. We're just trying to make sure that if somebody has an inclination to write a review, it's a good one.
Yeah, that's a great point. So let me kind of take the next step in this conversation about data, specifically the data that you're collecting. And again, as CEO, you probably have one perspective on this, and that's kind of what I want to get into. But how important is throughout the customer experience, as you're learning about the customer, to actually collect like more and more learnings about that customer for future, communications?
It's really important, and that's why our support system needs to run across all the different channels a customer can talk to us on, and bring that information into one place. We always say we have a 360-degree view of the customer. So no matter how a customer contacts us, we can quickly see what they've bought from us, when they bought it, and all the communication we have had. If we don't know that particular customer, don't know what he or she has, and don't know what questions they've asked in the past, we can't respond to it intelligently, right? So having all that information is really important to us, and across multi-channel.
And I assume too, and again, this is an assumption, maybe I'm wrong here, but the lifespan of a bicycle is several years, and so that's something that you have data on that first time that they came to you, that you purchased. But they're probably coming back to you with questions, and as you talked about, maintenance. So that's all data too, that you have that understanding of the customer from the first time that they came and purchased the bicycle, correct?
That's right. We have customers emailing in about their 9-year-old bikes all the time.
And so how do you, can you tell me just other ways that you utilize that data outside of okay, we know that this problem exists because it came, 5 years ago. Are there other use cases?
We do a good job, especially on new products, of tagging different cases with different bikes with different either requests or issues or anything we need to know about that product. We always say that a lot of our bikes one of them we've been running for 9 years. If you look at the photo of the bike that we sell today that we had 9 years ago, you'd see it looks identical. It's not. A lot of little things have changed on that bike over the years. How do we do that? Well, we hear from our customers what they want, what could last longer, what could do a better job of being the ultimate low maintenance bike. And we make those changes. So our products are constantly evolving. And the way we do that is we listen to our customer. We listen to the feedback they have on how it arrived, from shipping. Is shipping a problem? If maybe a bolt rusted that shouldn't have rust. We need to tag all that information so that next time we're in production of that product, we make it better.
One last question to ask you on this. I talk to technology companies, and obviously I work for a technology company, and there's this line that gets repeated and repeated over, which is that you got to focus on the retention and the customer, because that will create super fans, which then is like a cycle and help you create even more customers. And I feel, as I'm listening to you, you're living in that, and you've built a business around it. My question is, has that been the thought process since day one? We will generate new customers if we just create a great experience and really focus on current customers, or has that just kind of been, just something that just happened and it wasn't really a focus?
I think everything you're saying is true. It's not how we think. We just feel like make every customer happy and the rest will follow. So if we make everybody happy, then, unfortunately with a bike, there's not a lot of repeat business. Unless somebody's got a family of 5, they don't need 5 bikes. People buy bikes for themselves. And if the bikes do a good job, it lasts a long time. So yes, maybe in many years down the road, the bike isn't worn out, but they decide they want to upgrade or want something lighter or faster or whatever it is. They're going to think about us because we give them great experience. I do think a lot of what happens is that consumers these days are so trained to have a poor experience that if you give them a great experience, that they talk about it, right? They're at the water cooler at work and they say, I bought this bike and it arrived with a scratch, and I emailed the customer. I emailed the company. I texted them, and they responded right back, and they were helpful. And I think people are surprised when you give good service, and I do think they like to talk about that because good service is so rare. But that's not why we do it. We do it because it's the right thing, and that we believe if we take good care of every customer, they will take good care of us.
You make it sound so simple, Dave. So let me talk about the subject that most people are here to listen to, which is AI. Have you started to infuse AI not just across customer experience, but in your business at all in the last 6-12 months?
Yeah, so the only place we use AI is, and we were using it. Customer came out with an add-on, which we can talk about, but we were using AI for the same reasons that customer embedded it before customer embedded it. So a lot of our support team was using ChatGPT to summarize what customers were sending, especially because some of our customers can get really lengthy. And then also helping craft our response. You do need a lot of technical knowledge on how to respond for a bike problem or a bike question sometimes, but everybody we hire knows a lot about bikes. They don't necessarily know a lot about writing great emails. Yeah. And they'll be the first to say that. So I think that what our team has liked is how AI can help us to respond in a very professional way.
So would this be an accurate statement that it almost, the use of ChatGPT/AI started almost from the ground up organically of just your team utilizing it without even having a strategy around it? It was just there. It was a tool. Hey, I'm going to start utilizing this.
Absolutely. That's exactly right. And so yeah, one of them started using it and told everybody else and how she was using it, and the rest is history, right? And everyone realized, gosh, that helps. Those emails sound great. How do I do that? And the how is very easy. So we have, for the first moment that I heard that we were using AI-based responses, I was a little scared because it would lose what makes our team special.
Yep.
But I quickly found some examples and just read that it just was helping them speed up an intelligent response that was already in their minds and that they already put on paper, just helped it sound a little more professional.
So is that the balance in your mind of like, okay, you want to speed up the process here for your team members to make it a lot easier, but not at the expense of hurting the brain and having generic responses, right? Like that's at least the balance.
That's right. So we are not at the stage, and nor do I plan on anytime soon, though I'll not say forever, having any type of AI automated responses. It's really important that a professional that knows all about the product they have responds. That's who we are as a company. We don't want people reading responses from a bot that wasn't edited by a person first.
Yeah,
that's important to us because of the specialty nature of our product. But when someone from our team can start with what they want to say and have AI make it sound better, I think that's a good use of. That's a good way to save time and also have a really professional response to our customer.
Yeah. So I just want to dig deeper on that note because what I want to ask you is that like it sounds to me that there is this human element of it no matter what. Like you can have the perfect response. It could be well educated. You can train the bot to know everything about there is on priority bicycles. But to you, there's still this variable that it needs to come across as a person talking to another person at the end of the day. Do I have that right?
Yeah, you do. And our support team is in New York City. It's people that commute on bikes every day. We want that to remain with our customers. And I have not seen, we have tested AI in terms of, hey, I've got this noise on my bike. I've got this question about of my bike. Like, we have tested that a lot. And I don't think we would ever say yes right now, but we have not been satisfied with the answers, right?
Yeah.
It's not who we are as a company. So
Yeah.
I think that keeping the humans at the forefront of our responses is really important.
Yeah. I guess one takeaway for me that I hope the audience can see too is that like it sounds to me that there are principles that you have and maybe as a brand or as a company that you start with and like the solutions still need to be centered around who you are as a company rather than some of the solutions changing that around and maybe changing who Priority Bikes is. Do I have that right?
That's exactly it. That's exactly right.
So is there anything else off the top of your mind? I know you got a lot going on, but is there anything else that you might be excited about or something you want to test out in the future or something that like, maybe AI can help me with this part of the problem within your entire business?
We are changing a little bit of some of the parameters we are giving AI, and I think that has been kind of fun for us to see how the results change. And I think that as we get better, who we want, I think we could write a perfect job description for a person. Now we need to write the perfect response positioning for AI, and so I think that's interesting. I will see how over time, we can have some questions responded to, and the age old, like, I can't find my tracking number. Sure, shoot that over, right? How do we figure out as a company what can be responded to by AI and what cannot? And that's a difficult question, but I'm excited to see where that comes over time, and getting to the point maybe where AI is fully responding, but we read it and edit it before we send it. Whereas today, and the AI that we've experimented with isn't there yet for our particular niche industry. Today, it's we write it and AI makes it sound better. But can it get to that next level? I think so. Not this year, but maybe this month next year. We'll see.
Well, it's definitely an interesting question, as you know, the pace of innovation here. But I really like it. I want just to stop again just to say that I think it's really insightful that you're starting with your principles of who you are as a company, how you interact, and then utilizing some tools like this to improve upon that rather than focusing on the tools first, those type of solutions that are coming out and seeing how you can integrate it. I love that response. Maybe just last thing, anything in terms of data being collected. I want to just go back to this because I feel like when it comes to your product, now I know you've said just before, like you have had one bicycle that you've been selling since 9 years. Are you utilizing any of the customer data learnings to build upon like future products? Are you doing that at all, or product discovery, new bicycles, are just kind of in-house?
We're not utilizing AI for that yet, and that would be really interesting. We do all of our new products come from customer suggestion. We found early on in the company that if we design the bikes that I think is great, they don't sell. Whereas if we listen to our customers, because our customers, they come to us and say, I love this and that, but what if you did this? Our customers, if you stop and listen to them in our business, they tell you exactly where you need to go next. And so listening to our customers is where some of our best products come from. And so listening heavier on that, and if there's finding a way to have AI read all of our customer inbound and help us with that and collate that data would be an awesome thing for us.
Yeah. Well, you've got something going. So, Dave, I really appreciate the time. Thank you for talking to us about your story, about Priority Bicycles, and how you envision customer experience in the future and utilizing AI.
Well, we love customer and love what it does to help our team respond to our customers quickly and efficiently and beautifully. So it's my honor to be here, and thanks for having me.
Thanks, Dave.